Want to see something cool? Oh my God, look at all my Bujaramis. Man, you know, it's pretty hard for me to talk about Bujairami like in a very fair way. And the reason I say this is because Bujairami have over 400 fragrances. Like, bro, they have more fragrances than Hugo fucking Boss. They have more fragrances than the entire House of Joop and, I don't know, Versace combined. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get the point, right? You get the point. I only have like, how many fragrances is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Around like 40, 39, I lost count. So it's pretty unfair to try and like talk about this whole brand fairly because I haven't even tried half of their like entire range. They have like 400. But out of the ones I've tried, bro, I freaking love Bujairami. So what are my thoughts about Bujairami summarized, man? First of all, I have to say this. The biggest disadvantage Bujairami has is their bottles. Now, their bottles aren't bad. I love the bottles, they're great. It's because whether we like it or not, bruh, fragrance is entirely influenced by many things. And one of the biggest things that influence fragrance is literally the bottles. If you put Paco Rabanne's 1 million in the same bottle as a Tom Ford, I bet you a lot of people will be like, wow, this is a really interesting, mature blend of like spice and sweet mixed with some bubblegummy youthfulness. Bruh, presentation does a lot. It really puts Bujairami in this unique position where it really will show just how good their fragrances are because people are influenced by the package. You take a look at like Maison Alhambra, Lattafa, Armaf, all their fragrances have bespoke, unique bottles. And that plays into the psychology of what you're gonna be interpreting the fragrance with. Is that even, that did not English. That did not English, man. I always say this as an excuse, but English is like my third language. It's not, but so many people fall for it. It's hilarious. Just like the fact that whenever someone's like, what ethnicity are you? I'm like, I'm Vietnamese, bro. And then to this day, I still have people coming up to me saying, hey, you're Vietnamese, right? No, I was just joking. So yeah, they have a little bit of a advantage yet disadvantage when it comes to the presentation because, bruh, bespoke bottles cost a lot of money to make. If every single one of their fragrances, all 400 of their fragrances had like their own unique bottles, like one looked like a star, one looked like I don't know, a fridge or some shit like that, right? That would be a fuck ton of money. Do you have any idea how much it actually costs to have your own bespoke bottle? I mean, take a look at, I don't know, Billie Eilish's fragrances. All 3 of her latest releases are in like that same, you know, body bottle style, you know what I mean? And whether that's on purpose or not, it actually saves a lot of money because redesigning like a specific bottle, I'm not gonna get into it, but you get the point, you get the point. So yeah, a bottle really does play into the psychology of the fragrance. Like immediately, when they see that bottle, they already have like a bias towards the fragrance because they're judging it already by visuals. So what do I think of the fragrances? So I've only tried like 40 of them. But like actually I think 60 because I have tried a lot of samples. But so far, I think that they have a good mix. I've tried more good fragrances than I have bad fragrances. First, let's get into the ones I'm not big of a fan of. Where is it? This one. It looks like all the others, but this is their clone of Sauvage Eau de Parfum. I'm not really a big fan of it. It smells like Sauvage Eau de Parfum, but I feel like this one was a little bit too heavy with the Ambroxan. And this one, this is Wild. This is a clone of Invictus Platinum. I don't like Invictus Platinum, so it's a really good clone of it, but I'm not that big of a fan of it. One of my favorites, I think to this day, my most favorite fragrance from Bujairami has to be this. This is their clone of Tobacco Vanille. This is Vanaco, and this is the original formulation. And this was just a much more spicier, more intense version of Tobacco Vanille, more gourmand heavy, more spice heavy. Like the tobacco was way more prominent. That chocolatey, Christmassy goods kind of smell that you get from Tobacco Vanille, it's really toned down in this. Which brings me to my next point. I love Bujairami so much because of their forward way of thinking. They constantly improve. On this day, last year, this is what all the bottles look like. And now on this day, from this point onwards, this is what their bottles look like. They just keep on improving. And in terms of the fragrances keep on, I'd say they keep on getting better and better. When I first met this brand, the most impressive clone for them was their Baccarat Rouge clone. It's right here. It was fantastic. It smelled just like Baccarat Rouge 540, but there were some minute differences. Like I'd say that it just wasn't as strong, and the sweetness was a bit higher. But now, bro, nowadays they have shit like this. Bujairami Power. This was a clone of Lamar Elixir, and this one is pretty much a identical dupe of Lamar Elixir. It's freaking ridiculous. I was live with Bujairami like a few months ago, and he said that he's been reformulating a lot of their fragrances. So this is I Have Money by Bujairami. This is their clone of Ombre Leather, and I love it. It's not a clone of Ombre Leather in my opinion. It's definitely Ombre Leather inspired, but it's much more richer. It's got a bit of like this purpley haze to it. It's spicier. The leather is way richer than the actual Ombre Leather. When I met them, their focus was either trying to get it as close as possible or putting their own spin on it. And I feel like when they put their own spin on it, that was fantastic. Like they were putting out some really cool shit. There's a freaking bug. There's a bug on my phone. Right, like I said, their Tobacco Vanille clone, their Ombre Leather clone. They were both just interpretations. They were both inspired by the fragrance that they were inspired by, but they were doing their own thing. And I just really thought that was really nice and artistic and fantastic. The face of Bujairami, he said that he's been reformulating a lot of their stuff so that they're much more closer to the original, because that's what people want. And that's one thing about him as well. He listens to his customers, bro. He listens to his customers, and when customers aren't satisfied, he does his best to get back to them, and he listens to the feedback and everything. I voiced out my opinions on the bottles not having the names, and a lot of people did. And he did this. He started putting the names on the bottles. I love that. I think I love Bujairami so much because, and a lot of people, especially some fuckboys overseas, they won't understand just how good Bujairami is, because in Australia, everything's expensive here, right? All the fragrances are super expensive. You look at something like Montal, Mancera. In the US, it's like 90 bucks max, right? And when translated to Australian dollars, that's like 110 bucks. Here in Australia, you'll be paying upwards up to like 150 USD for those exact same fragrances. And so they're doing what we want. They're giving us alternatives, and it's just, but not even the fragrances, man. I just love the community. I just love the fact that Bujairami is like this force of nature in the fragrance game here in Australia. And I love it. I kind of don't want them to branch out overseas because I want them to just be in Australia. I'm going to gatekeep these. I'm just kidding. And that's why I love talking about them so much, you know? It's just, I just feel connected. A lot of people feel connected. It's one big community, and we're always trying to improve, right? That's why it's always bothered me when so many people online, they just kind of see me talk about Bujairami and they just assume, oh, yeah, he's getting sponsored and paid. You know, a funny thing, I've never earned a cent from any bottle of these sold. They've never sent me money. They've never asked me to say anything. It's just always been my honest opinions. And a lot of people just can't believe that. And hey, look, it's their problem. I just love, I'm never gonna shut up about these guys. I'm never gonna stop talking about Bujairami. I think to this day, I'm the #1 creator who has talked about Bujairami the most. I have the most videos on them. And that's for a reason. I love this brand. Oh. What other fragrances can I pull out? Oh, this one, Australian Tonka. Oh, this one's nice. This one is a tribute to Australian beaches. My girlfriend's filming right now. Babe, do you want to have your opinions on the fragrance? What do you think? Doesn't this smell like the beach? Like Australian?
It smells like when you go get an ice cream after you go to the beach.
Real? Okay. Shit. One of the cats is taking a shit right now, so I'm gonna have to cut this video short. But yeah, no. Bujairami, man. I'm never gonna stop defending this brand. I'm never gonna stop talking about him. I'm never gonna stop. Unless like some crazy shit happens and the man turns out to be like some massive criminal and is like, yeah, only something like that will stop me from liking this brand. Other than that, I love Bujairami, bro. Like, I freaking love Bujairami. Not only because they make great fragrances, but because I just love the community. And you know, some people see that and it's like, oh, but that's bias. And fragrance is a biased thing. Fragrance is entirely biased. But if I was to remove everything about myself from these fragrances, I would say that objectively speaking, I feel the exact same way because I was waiting to find a brand like this here in Australia. And I have it. Bujairami have saved me and a lot of people a lot of money. But then again, look, originals are originals. Respect the originals. But us Bujairami fanboys, we're gonna be over here with our Bujairami fragrances. I must not talked about this. Bro, I love this one too. This is RIVERAEDGE Red. My own fragrance. This is one in collaboration. So they don't sell this, only I sell this, but they do manufacture this. This is a collab between me and Bujairami, and I'm very proud of this one too. This is a fruity, spicy fragrance. Very red, very juicy and fleshy. It's a very full-bodied fruity fragrance with a depth of spice. And you have like these little bottles. Look, I can talk about Bujairami for like, I'm crossing my legs. Some people say that's bad because like it warms up your balls and you're like,
They can't see that.
what?
They can't see your legs from this angle.
Oh shit, well look, I was crossing my legs, right? And some health people say that if you cross your legs, it will actually fuck up your sperm because your sperm is in a ball sack. It's hanging outside of the body for a reason. It needs to stay cool. I'm like, okay, I get it. But I'm gonna cross my legs then. I'm just kidding, People are like, man spread. It's normal to man spread. Anyways, I could talk about Bujairami for hours, bro. But that's just a really quick, brief introduction. This will be my first YouTube video on Bujairami. Absolutely love Bujairami. And hey, look, I'm just a guy talking about Bujairami. I'm just a fragrance critic. You make your own choice. Do you like Bujairami? Do you not like Bujairami? What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I feel like a real YouTuber saying that. But yeah, no, guys, if you guys liked what I had to say about this, let me know. And if you like this video, do me a favor and love yourself. Sakiko! What do you have to say about Bujairami fragrances, Sakiko? What do you have to say?